SpaceX's Starship, the biggest rocket worldwide, is set to become even larger as the company maintains its focus on future Mars missions. Elon Musk, the billionaire founder of SpaceX, informed employees on April 4th that Starship will eventually stand at 500 feet, about 150 meters tall, approximately 20% taller than the current system aboard the Super Heavy rocket. In addition, Musk predicted that advances in reusability would significantly reduce launch costs to around $3 million each.
So, let's see. We've learned a tremendous amount from when we started the company, and at first were unable to get even a small rocket to orbit, to now where we've done 327 successful launches, almost 300 landings. In fact, give it a few weeks and we'll have done 300 landings. 261 reflights. So, many times I was told that that reusability was impossible, and even if you did it, there would be no point because nobody would want to fly rockets that much. But now we routinely fly and land the booster, and we recover the fairing. So we've learned a tremendous amount from the Falcon program that is then feeding into the Starship program. And Falcon and Starlink are what obviously keep the company going. So I'd just like to give a hand to the Falcon team for the incredible work that they're doing.
This represents a substantial decrease compared to the $5.9 million cost of a Falcon 1 rocket launch in 2004, adjusted for inflation. Musk expressed astonishment at these cost reductions, emphasizing that they are achievable within the bounds of physics. Musk typically provides updates on Starship Progress at least once a year, highlighting advancements toward SpaceX's long-term goal of colonizing Mars. Despite recent progress with 3 Starship launches in the past year, Musk did not address the delays in launching Starship that have pushed back the first moon landing under NASA's Artemis program.
This is a side-by-side of the 3 flights. You can see how thrust to weight improved significantly. So we've made tremendous progress from Flight 1 to Flight 2 to Flight 3. And we got Flight 4 coming up in about a month or so. And with Flight 4, we should, if we get, if fate smiles upon us, we'll get through the high heating regime and smash into the ocean at a controlled spot. And then hopefully be able to also do this with the booster, land on essentially a virtual tower. If the landing on the virtual tower with the booster works, then we will actually try with Flight 5 to come back and land on the tower.
SpaceX was selected as the vendor for the Artemis 3 landing mission, initially scheduled for 2025 but postponed to 2026 due to technical issues. Apart from Starship's readiness, delays were attributed to slow progress on spacesuits and issues with the mission's Orion spacecraft. Musk's discussion with employees focused on Starship's future capabilities, such as orbiting Earth and refilling its tanks, which are yet to be proven in test flights. He highlighted the importance of these capabilities for the Artemis program and envisioned a moon base Alpha with specialized ships for lunar transportation.
The moon, obviously, there's no mechazilla, so we need landing legs. And you don't need a heat shield, and you don't need flaps, because there's no atmosphere. So the moon ship would be specialized. Now ultimately, I think we want to build a moon base Alpha.
In his address, Musk emphasized the need to send substantial cargo to Mars for future settlers, estimating thousands of launches would be required. SpaceX, with its extensive launch history, aims to play a significant role in space transportation, forecasting a substantial increase in orbital mass compared to other entities. The upcoming fourth spaceflight attempt of Starship, scheduled for May, aims to achieve the first stage landing of Super Heavy in the Gulf of Mexico. Musk outlined plans for future landings at Starbase in South Texas once safety measures are established. Musk also stressed the importance of controlled splashdowns to avoid debris in populated areas.
And then there's recovering and reusing the ship. The ship will take longer. So the ship, I think we will want to have at least 2 consecutive successes of a given design that land at a specific point in the ocean or smash into a specific point of the ocean before we try to bring it back to the launch site, because we do not want to rain debris over Mexico or the U.S. So my guess is probably next year is when we will be able to reuse Starship. But I think it's highly likely that this year we will bring Starship to, or the ship side of it, to a controlled point in the ocean.
He outlined plans for multiple Starship launches this year and projected the construction of additional spacecraft by the end of 2024, with a new rocket factory expected to expedite production in 2025. Future versions of Starship, including Starship 2 and Starship 3, will significantly increase payload capacity, reducing the number of refueling missions for Mars journeys. Musk acknowledged challenges ahead, but remained optimistic about achieving success within the proposed timeline. Despite these milestones, Musk did not address regulatory approvals required for launches or environmental concerns surrounding Starship's impact near Starbase. He emphasized the need for frequent launches to establish a sustainable settlement on Mars within the next 2 decades, reiterating predictions made as early as 2011.
Batshit crazy.
Musk's vision for the future extends beyond mere speculation. He has outlined concrete plans for the ambitious endeavor. With aspirations to send hundreds of vehicles to Mars every 2 years, SpaceX would need to conduct approximately 10 launches per day during peak periods. This logistical feat underscores the company's commitment to establishing a long-term human presence on the red planet. Regarding the population of Mars, Musk reiterated his long-standing goal of accommodating around 1 million people on the Martian surface. This figure aligns with predictions he has been vocal about since 2017, demonstrating his unwavering determination to realize this vision. In terms of timing, Musk remains consistent in his timeline projections, aiming to kickstart the settlement within the next 20 years. This timeline has remained relatively unchanged since 2011, highlighting Musk's persistence and dedication to his Martian ambitions. While Musk's speeches often focus on the technical and logistical aspects of space travel, he rarely addresses regulatory hurdles and environmental concerns. However, these issues are likely to become increasingly prominent as SpaceX's operations expand, especially considering the ecological sensitivity of the areas surrounding launch facilities. As SpaceX continues to push the boundaries of space exploration, Musk's leadership and innovative vision remain pivotal in driving the company forward. With each milestone achieved, the dream of interplanetary colonization inches closer to reality, ushering in a new era of human space exploration.
So really, Starship is really the key to making life multiplanetary and preserving the light of consciousness. That's what it's all about. And it may end up being the most important thing that we ever do. I think that like the light of consciousness is like this tiny candle in a vast darkness, and that candle has only been lit for a very short time, and it could easily go out. So we obviously want to preserve the tiny light of consciousness on Earth, but extend it to Mars, and then ultimately to the rest of the solar system, and then start going to other star systems. And I mean, I won't be alive to see that, but unless I'm like frozen or something, I don't know. But I think at some point we will discover many civilizations that maybe lasted 1 million years or 2 million years or 10 million years. But a civilization that lasted 1 million years, which would be, vastly longer than our civilization has lasted. I mean, that's only the third decimal point, so like 13.8 billion something years. If your civilization lasts 1 million years, it's only goes, that third digit past the decimal point goes up 1, and that's 1 million years. So, I mean, I'd say, like, we should think of, like, how do we make civilization last 1 million years? We often get caught up in, like, the day-to-day things, but we want to have at least 1 million-year civilization, if not 100 million-year civilization, or 1 billion-year civilization. So, absolutely crucial to that goal is becoming a multi-planet species.